welcome back to another episode of Federico Talks Watches. Today, we're going to talk about wrist size. Dude.
Hey, are you making a video?
Yes.
I want to be in a video. You never put me on my video on these videos anymore.
You have more subscribers than I do.
You have way more subscribers. Let me in. What are you talking about?
For real, I'm making a video.
Okay, give me in the frame.
So we're shooting one together?
Come on! I need to get
okay,
on.
Fine. We're talking about wrist size.
I love wrist size.
That's what she said. Alright, talking about wrist size. If you guys don't know, this is John P., my business partner, co-owner, and founder of Del Rey Watch.
Yes.
Go subscribe to his channel where you can watch videos almost as good as mine.
Thanks for having me.
I was kind of forced. Of course, before we get started, wristwatch check. What are you wearing?
This is why I had to get on. We have one of the Schumachers in stock. We just got this in. So the Mega Speedmaster Schumacher for the Michael Schumacher, the race car driver, the yellow edition, which I think is awesome on this red strap. I put it on just so I can kind of show it on the video here because these have really dried up on the market.
Yeah, they've really gone up in value.
It has Hesalite crystal, which is actually not common because it's an automatic Speedmaster.
And it's also well under $2,000, right?
I think well under that.
Well, we have also a lot more watches that just came in. We got a... Wait, hold on. We'll get to that. We got a Milgauss. Black Milgauss just came in today.
That's in great condition.
Also, fantastic condition. We have that Richard Mille.
Oh, wait. I think it's on hold. Is it on hold?
I don't know. Is it? I don't know.
We may have a Richard Mille left.
Okay, we may or may not have it left. We had the Moser. Not anymore. In a second, and a lot more watches at delraywatch.com. Go take a look, link in the description. I'm wearing...
What are you wearing?
An H. Moser and Sia Endeavor manual wind 8-day power reserve with Moser teeth and Straumann hairspring.
Who sold that to you?
You did. It's been a grail watch of mine forever, and I finally got one in a Del Rey watch, and, you know, it's time to execute that employee discount.
Congrats, Employee of the Month.
Yeah,
2 months ago.
Still this month. 41 millimeters, rose gold. I'm waiting on a new strap.
Excellent.
But yeah, man, Grail watch.
Fully in-house.
Fully in-house.
Head to toe.
Head to toe. Head to toe. And actually, this is my second Grail that I've bought in the last month and a half. So I think I need to stop for right now. Or at least I need to slow down.
Well, hey, you keep buying them from Del Rey Watch, so I don't mind.
You gonna pay my rent this month?
No.
Okay. Well, wrist sizes. Talking about wrist size. Well, I guess the advantage of being interrupted by my partner John here is that he has a rather small wrist. How big is your wrist?
6.5 inches, which is not the smallest out there.
And I think that's generous.
No, it's 6.5. And it's definitely in the bottom 10%, but we do work with those that have a little bit smaller.
And, of course, I'm an 8-inch wrist, or just under 8-inch, which only sounds like an inch and a half of difference, but trust me, massive difference. So I guess what I want to talk about today is, you know, being a guy who possesses a large wrist,
yes,
and a guy that has a tiny wrist, what sizes can we wear? What fits appropriately? You know, because a lot of people, they see 38 millimeter watch, 40 millimeter watch, 47 millimeter watch, but how does that fit? You know what I mean?
Oof.
So what about you? Like, what are your tendencies? Like, what is the lower end of the spectrum you can wear?
Right.
And what is the highest end of the spectrum you can wear?
Well, I'm into vintage a lot, so vintage watches are generally smaller. So it really works for me. And they're also generally a better value because the trend is a bigger watch. So I can wear a watch between 32 to 40 if it's a tapered or a thinner 40, like an older Sub or an older Explorer 2. Over the 40, for me, the way that this shape is, at this size, 6.5, it just starts to hang over the wrist, and if I don't wear it...
And that's bad. Hanging over the wrist is the sign of a watch.
It looks wrong.
It
looks very wrong, and it doesn't feel good either.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. So what is the ideal size for you?
Ideal size is probably 38 for a sports watch and 36 for a dress watch.
Okay, but as low as 32 and as high as 40.
Right.
But I know there are a few exceptions, because the other day you were trying on a 42 millimeter radio mirror
Right.
that we have in stock. But since that has wire lugs, that actually fit you quite well.
Well, it kind of fit. I think that's what I said. I'm like, I could almost wear this. But the thing is, like, I could squeeze myself into it. It's like if you found, for me, it's like if I found a pair of shoes at the mall that, like, I really wanted, and, like, they were one size, like, one half size too big, and I'm like, I think I could wear thick socks with this.
What are you, a woman?
But then I like, Yeezys and sneakers. You have a pair too.
Okay, fine.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to come up with a good example here. Like,
okay.
But also at the same point, it's a watch that I wouldn't wear, just like it's a pair of shoes that I would not wear, because it doesn't fit perfectly.
Okay, I gotcha. Well, for me, I'd say my lower range is 40.
40?
This is a 41, or 40.8, technically. 40 fits very well. I can go to about 46, 47
millimeters.
That wears well, though it is not my size of preference. I think the perfect size for me is probably 42, which is funny because I only own one 42 millimeter watch. However, it depends. Dress watch, this is, about 41. It fits great. My sub is a sports watch. It's a chunky 40. Because remember, 40 millimeters is just the diameter.
You're a maxi, right?
Yeah, it's a maxi case. So even though the diameter is 40 millimeter, it has thick lugs. So that still wears large. And, my Panarizer 44. However, my Ming is a 38. And to me, it feels a bit small. And a lot of people have commented on the videos that it looks a bit small. However, I love the watch so much that I don't care.
But are the smaller watches comfortable, though?
They're comfortable, they just don't look aesthetically perfect. Maybe to other people. Like the Ming, even when I look down on my wrist, it looks a little small at 38 because I'm a very big guy. However, I like the watch so much that I say to hell with it. If I was a smaller guy, or if it was 2 millimeters bigger, it'd be perfect. But as of right now, I really don't care. I still really enjoy it.
That's interesting.
And just like, if you fell in love with a 42 millimeter, if you really liked it that much, it's to hell with it. But one thing I noticed, and tell me if you think this is true.
I wouldn't wear it, though.
You say that now.
I've owned U-boats back 10 years ago, and...
You want to admit that? You want to admit this on the internet?
10 years ago, I bought a U-boat, and, I wouldn't necessarily say to do that today, but... Very large, 48 millimeters probably.
You wore 48 millimeters?
For a few days, and I'm like, this hurts my wrist.
What, did you wear it on your ankle?
To be very honest with you, I threw away the watch because, like, I was just so angry and frustrated with it. And it's a long story.
Great, so you bought a U-boat, and then you threw it away. So you, really lost all your money. Got it.
I threw it away.
Here's something I noticed, though. I noticed that the size that fits people the most... Yeah, that's what thank you for, huh?
It's horrible. Don't throw away your watches. I was young and stupid.
Okay. So tell me what you think.
Yes.
I noticed that the wrist size that seems almost universal, it's the most common, it almost fits everybody, is 40 millimeters. Now, and I'm an 8-inch wrist, and I own a Pepsi. And it's on the smaller side for me, but I can still wear it quite well. You're a 6.5-inch wrist, and you also own a 40 millimeter Rolex sports watch, and it fits you quite well. So to bridge the gap between 8-inch and 6.5-inch, 40 millimeter almost seems to fit everybody perfectly.
But for me, it's the 40 millimeters of the old version Rolex Oyster case, because the Maxi case,
which I have, is
I cannot wear. I can't wear it.
Well, it's because even though they're both 40, the Maxi case is technically, it has thicker lugs. So from widest point to widest point, it is 40, but the lugs are thicker, making it wear larger. Anyway, guys, what wrist size do you have, and what watch size can you wear? I'm curious to know. I figured it would be an interesting discussion today, especially since John interrupted, because we have two ends of the spectrum. So we can discuss, how 32 millimeter watches fit, up to 46, 47 millimeters. But we'd be curious to know what you guys think.
What about the bracelets? I don't mean to jack the thread, but bracelets.
Bracelets, it depends. On an 8-inch wrist, usually I remove one link. Almost every watch I buy, I need to remove one link only. Unless, like Breitling, I might have to remove 2 or 3.
Do you ever need to buy extra links? Because I remember a situation where someone needed a link and the watch just did not come for that wrist size.
Because 8-inch is almost... like normal. I mean, it's not normal, it's above average, but people have an interest. So, like, almost every manufacturer... I mean, I once bought a watch where I didn't have to remove a link, but I've never had to add. Never. Not at my wrist size. I mean, there are people with 9.5 inch wrists that, you know, those exist. And yeah, those guys need to buy links. But some manufacturers, for example, Cartier, I used to work for Cartier, they gave you 2 free links
extra
with the purchase of a watch. So if it didn't come with the watch, but if you bought it and it didn't fit and you went to the service center, their policy was to give you 2 gratuitous links to make it fit.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, wish every company did it, but that's not the case. But I've seen you. Your bracelets are tiny.
They are. I have a link collection. If you need a link, hit me up, delraywatch.com.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you so much, and please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. I'm not cutting that out, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any content. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you in the next one. Take care.